Hey guys, Eternal Phoenix here. As you may know, I've partnered up with On The Rise to bring you guys anime and manga related content as promised. Here is the collaboration video that we've been working on. But first, there's something really important to me that I thought I should share with you guys.
Are you a giving person? If so, that selfishness might just save someone's life today. Hi, I'm RJ Lane from On The Rise, and this injustice has gone on for too long. Every day we see fellow otakus with a deep sense of pain. Their favorite anime has come to an end, and it ends up leaving them with nothing but a sense of emptiness. But don't lose hope. For just one anime recommendation a day, you can save an otaku. Just dial 1-800-OTAKU for life. I repeat, that's 1-800-OTAKU for life. Give a recommendation, save a weeb. This is not a real number, rates may apply.
That's really not what I thought you meant when you said we couldn't use force.
But seriously guys, welcome to part 2 of our collaboration where Eternal Phoenix, myself, and Mark discuss the rift between old school and new school anime.
So to start things off, how do you guys feel about the rivalries between old school and new school anime?
Okay, let's be serious here. When comparing rivals, most people think Goku and Vegeta versus Deku and Bakugo, and that's because those are some classic forms of rivals right there. But I gotta say, new anime has definitely begun to flip that formula. You can look at Makishima and Kogami from Psycho Pass or Hinata and Kageyama from Haikyuu, and you can see the difference. Newer anime took the classic shonen rival formula of putting two complete opposite characters against each other and turned it on its head. Instead, they made the rivals the exact same, very similar characters. Your worst enemy is yourself, and newer anime took that concept and ran with it. So I have to give props to the newer era for thinking outside the box. That being said, older anime set the groundwork for these new rivals to even exist, and they would not be as interesting without the knowledge of the old ones that came before it. It's the nostalgia factor of seeing Naruto and Sasuke and Asta and Yuno that makes people love it so much. But I'm still gonna give it to newer anime for flipping the formula on its head and still making it interesting. Sorry, older anime.
So honestly, because of what my repertoire of anime that I watch is what it is, I really can't give it to new school anime right off the bat, because I haven't seen enough to go off of. And that's not to say I haven't seen a lot of anime, I just haven't seen that many good rivalries. Like looking at My Hero Academia, Bakugo is the closest thing that Deku has to a rivalry, but he kind of dropped off. I mean, the first 1 or 2 seasons, yeah, he was right there with him, and they were going at it, and he had a superiority complex, you know, basically the Vegeta mindset. And then he didn't pass his hero license exam, and they gave Bakugo the backseat, they gave Todoroki the backseat. They went from acting like either one of them could be the main character to being the side character of a side character. So as of now, it has to put in some more work, but the potential is definitely there. With old school anime though, you had the Naruto and Sasuke, and honestly a bunch more like Madara and Hashirama, or Obito and Kakashi, just to name a few. You had the Hiei and the Yusuke, the Inuyasha and the Shishomaru, the Renji and Captain Kuchiki from Bleach, because Renji was always trying to surpass him and Byakuya would beat him in all their fights. Ichigo and Aizen could technically be counted as well, because Aizen planned to fight Ichigo from the beginning, and he made sure he became strong enough to face him, and Aizen became stronger as well. Then there's things like Gon and Killua, and that's not even to mention Goku and Vegeta, which is probably one of the biggest rivalries in anime history, at least so far, that people get really hype about. I mean, you can't really throw a stone in the anime community without hearing about them. Every time I turn around, it's like you hear someone say, but can he beat Goku though, you know? And normally you're talking about Goku, not really so much Vegeta, but you can't really turn around without hearing anyone talking about them, because they're basically the grandfathers of the rivalry concept. And even still, you have rivalries like Natsu and Gray from Fairy Tail. I mean, you get the picture. There are a few new school ones like Asta and Yuno. They established a rivalry very early on, and aside from that, you know, the concept overall doesn't seem to be that prevalent. I mean, that's not to say that it has to be a shonen or an action-based anime to have rivalries, but it's just not too common these days.
When we talk about rivalries, we can't leave out Vegeta and Goku. Outside of the kings of rivalries, it's Naruto and Sasuke for sure. There's honestly nothing in this era of anime that comes close to the aggression of the 80s, 90s anime rivalries. Honorable mentions will be One Piece, Yu Yu, Inuyasha, and Hunter x Hunter, to name a few of the classics. Everyone loves to mention My Hero and Black Clover. They are both renditions of the founding rivalries of the previous big three.
End goals are something that's going to be based a little bit more on what people have watched in terms of genre and variety, because end goals aren't simply chained to any one specific genre. But in my opinion, the quality of end goals has faded a bit over time. Now, going into newer anime, I honestly can't really say the new anime are at fault, because there are thousands of anime out there, so at some point a concept will be copied here or there. Such as being the Pirate King and being the Wizard King. I'm not saying that they're exactly the same thing, because again, you're comparing pirates to wizards, but it's more of a safe copy, because One Piece works, so you should assume that going to do something similar but with wizards should also work. I mean, the adventure really dictates everything in that sense, but you get what I'm saying. Becoming something like the Hokage in Naruto is a bit different, and I wouldn't really say that that's a copy, because there are multiple people in the Naruto series who hold the title of Kage, and Kage are just village leaders. It's not like he is becoming the king of the ninja, or he's going to become the strongest ninja as an end goal. He's just becoming a village leader, which again, although is an important role, it's not really like copying from anything, and it's a solid end goal. And again, that's just based off of the person watching the show and whether they think it's good or not. In my opinion, it's a good one, but it's also a classic in my opinion, because that's what I grew up on. Goku, for example, he just wants to fight strong people and protect the Earth, but I wouldn't really call it an end goal per se, because how much he actually protects the Earth. But if it were to be like Goku saying he wants to be so strong that no one would dare attack the Earth or challenge him, then that would be a different story. But seeing how he lives to fight and everything, Goku would probably never say anything like that. He would never probably have an end goal like that. And then Ichigo from Bleach. Ichigo technically does have an end goal of being strong enough to protect everyone, because he basically says that in the first couple episodes. He doesn't just want to protect everyone in arm's reach, but he wants to reach out and try and protect everyone he can. But he doesn't really want to be the head captain of the Shinigami or the strongest Soul Reaper or anything like that. It kind of just happens. Vast Stampede from Trigun is basically looking for his brother the whole series, which is a very simple end goal. Deku wants to be the greatest hero, which is simple, but it's told from an autobiography standpoint, so you basically know he does become a great hero, but it's just showing you how he did it. Soma wants to be a good cook, and 25th just wants to be reunited with Rachel and climb the tower. So with all this in mind, I'd say new school and old school anime are about even in this regard. However, again, the journey to reach that goal makes all the difference. But just considering the final destination and this topic and everything, they both do well in this aspect, although taste is subjective, so you may disagree with me.
For newer anime, it's more about where the adventure would take them, not so much the end goal. For the classics, it's been clearly stated in the beginning, and by the end, the hero has either died trying or has accomplished the goal in its entirety. It's bittersweet, but it's an excellent, effective means to bring closure to a great story. Newer anime falls short because they lack that element of ending in the name of being able to possibly rekindle an anime to recoup or capitalize on more sales.
And this is another tough one. Newer anime don't really have end goals other than survive this, or this is happening to me right now and I have to be the hero. Of course, this was also the case for shows like Gurren Lagann and Black Lagoon and so on and so forth. Wow, Gurren Lagann is 10 years old. I feel really old right now. But anyway, I would have to say that the end goal of anime falls on the premise of the show. The premise of One Piece is pirates, so of course the end goal is to become Pirate King. However, the end goal of shows like Vinland Saga, yes, Vinland Saga counts as a newer anime because it came out in 2019, is not to become the King of Vikings. As anime went on, more and more shows began to divert from the end goal and just focused on the present circumstances of the characters. And of course, shonen fanboys were turned off by this because 90% of the shonen world has some outrageous end goal, but I'm starting to feel like most anime nowadays have no use for this plot point. However, the end goal plot point is still very useful. It sets the stage for a grand adventure, and that's what most fans are looking for when they invest their time in a show. So, due to the fact that a lot of newer shows are abandoning this concept of end goals and just going where the story takes them, I'm going to have to give this one to older anime. Because I'm still very happy that Naruto became Hokage, and I still can't wait for Luffy to become Pirate King.
So honestly, I'm going to have to give this to old school anime. Not to say the new school anime isn't doing a good job. They're definitely bringing a lot to the table. and they are doing really good. Trust me, I like Dr. Stone, I like Black Clover. My Hero Academia is really, really good. I'm all caught up on that. I'm even reading some of the manga on that. But they just don't compare, at least in the aspects that we've talked about so far with the character development, plot, end goals, and so forth. They just don't compare to the old school anime in the ways that they did it. You don't even have to take our opinions for it. You know, you can already tell just by the longevity of these shows to have them last 5-10 years past the point that they came out and still have a big fan base, still be relevant and talked about to this point already shows you just how good these old school shows were. Whether it be Dragon Ball or One Piece or Naruto or Inuyasha. Inuyasha ended a good minute ago and it's already coming back with a reboot. That should just tell you how big the fan base was for that and how big the love for that show was. So yeah, you know, old school anime just always has a special place in my heart. Not trying to say that this is biased at all, because trust me, I definitely like me some new school anime. But at least in terms of what we've talked about, I really think that old school anime just takes the cake in that situation. I'm not saying that new school anime have to have the same formulas that the old school anime is used to be good. I'm just saying that what they did back in the day compared to what they're doing now, I feel like in some areas it's a lack of creativity in some situations, and it just doesn't hit home like the old school animes did. And that's okay, you know. They don't have to have another Dragon Ball, you know. And I'm not going to say that there's never going to be a show that's better than them, but they don't have to have an exact copy-paste of that show for it to be good. Because taste is subjective. You could like Dragon Ball and hate Naruto or vice versa. Or you could hate all the shows that we talked about and love a show that we completely hate, you know. It's completely fine to have different opinions than what we have talked about. If you think new school anime is better than old school anime, that's okay. That's your opinion and everything. And I'm not going to bash anyone for their opinion. One should bashing me for mine. But personally, and I think the rest of us can agree with this. But with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed the collaboration between me and On the Rise. Please check out our channels for more content. Feel free to subscribe and like the videos if you enjoyed our collaboration. I'm sorry if we couldn't get it out to you guys sooner, but we've definitely been trying. It just took a while to get all the scheduling for this put together. And with the pandemic and whatnot and our personal lives and everything, it's just taken a while, but we have finally gotten everything out like we promised. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If so, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Eternal Phoenix signing out.